Welcome to the another edition of Uncensored. On October 6th, Hamas carried out a brutal and audacious attack on Israel, leaving 1,200 Israelis dead, mostly civilians. Israel too retaliated in a hard manner, leaving over 2,000 Palestinians dead and a complete siege of Gaza. The residents of Gaza have been asked to move away. Among common Israelis, there is a sense of rage and anger. It is one thing they could not comprehend. It will happen to them. The people are facing a lot of hardships. Many people have been displaced. To get a hang of the ground situation, how common Israelis are reacting to it, what are the feelings, what is the anger among them. We're very fortunate to have been joined from Israel, Sarah Ben-Haim. Sarah, welcome to our program and thanks a lot for sparing your time.
Hi, thank you. Thank you to having me.
Sarah, could you please tell us, our viewers, where do you live in Israel? And October 6th, when you heard this news, what was your first reaction?
Well, I'm living in the Negev, and when I saw first in the morning, Saturday morning, the news, I couldn't believe. I thought something's ain't real happening, and I start to get the videos one after them, and how all the people from this party just been chased by the terrorists and killed and murdered and they kidnapped. It was like a horror movie living in reality. We live in peace here. Everybody is living in peace with their life. And the young people just wanted to have a nice party and, celebrating peace and happiness, I guess. We never thought something like this could happen.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
Sarah, I understand it's a very tragic moment for the people of Israel. So, Sarah, you have been living all along your life in Israel, I believe. So, prior to October 6th, could you ever comprehend that such an attack could take place on the Israeli soil?
No, no. Uh, we wasn't. We, I don't think we was prepared to this. I don't think people could believe something like this could happen. No, we absolutely never thought something like this can happen in our place, in our homes, in our families. Suddenly, the life changed forever.
So,
It's devastating.
I understand when you say the life has changed in a dramatic manner for the ordinary Israelis. But let's try to understand one thing from the view. What is the ground situation? What is the common feeling among Israelis right now?
Well, the feeling of unsureness, like that you don't know what's going on and you don't know what will happen next, because, like I said, we are used to live our life peacefully. So we're not, as citizens, we're not used to this kind of reality. Even though we have few wars in the past, but something like that we didn't have. The feeling is we've been hurt tragically forever. Like we feel it's a second Holocaust. The way they killed the people is not like they killed usually, I don't say it's better, but they murdered, they burned babies, they decapitated babies. This is horrible, beyond imagination, beyond human humanity. I don't have any words to explain how such thing can happen. And I saw the terrorists photos. They're so young, so young. It's unbelievable how much hate we never be prepared for that. among of hate. So we've been in shock for a few days. We didn't know what's going on, but then we start to help each other, and all the people from the Gaza, from near the Gaza Street from Israel, been evacuated south, so to my region also, and we take care of those people. We get into our house and trying to help them as much as we can.
So,
And this is very hard.
Sarah, I can understand there are two or three points which you highlighted and which we will try to understand from you. First, tell me one thing. After October 6th, I believe all schools and educational institutions are closed. So, are the people being shifted to safer places or they're living in their own homes?
Yes, of course, we all under shelters. We have um, command from the army, from our service of defense to stay in the shelters and near shelters. There are no school. Uh, no. We're going out only if we need to go out right now.
So, what you are saying is that in the entire Israel is in a state, there's a complete shutdown out there in Israel. This is what you are suggesting.
I think this is what is going on for now because we still don't know if it's sure to continue our life, like to go out and work and go to bring the kids to school. You know, this is not a normal situation. So we hear the command of the security services and we do exactly what they say.
So, when you are, so do you go to shelter regularly, or when there is a command to go to shelters? What is how the situation is turning around there?
Well, this is depending if we have, a siren. If you hear siren, we go into shelters. Or if the moment is tense in the region, specific region the citizen is living, so they know about it, they let them know. So they're preparing the shelter and they ready to go inside.
So, depending on the situation, but there is a sense of uncertainty among the common people. This is what you are saying. There's a sense of uncertainty among the common people with regard to the situation.
Well, yes, this is a war like inside of Israel also happening a lot of things that you know make scare people, scare them to make them scared to live the normal life. It's hard to go back like normal and usual. And no,
Sarah, now tell me one thing. When you move to shelter, there may be other people also who would have moved to the shelter. What is a common thing you talk among yourselves? I mean, how do they are reacting to the situation, and what are their feelings?
well, actually, when it's happening, it's panic because people waiting to hear the boom, so they know the falling rocket is falling safer. But meantime, it's very tense. So we all the people trying to calm the childrens because we don't want them to feel the stress and the fear. So we, as much as we can, we're relaxing and calming people that are in panic and children. So we need to stay, cold
So
to the situation.
what you are suggesting, Sarah, is that uh, the children, especially the children, are quite scared.
They're very scared that this is an unusual life, and the teenagers also have all those videos around on TikTok and imagine other places that they receive them, and this is affecting their mind. They have a lot of questions. They don't know exactly what happened. They hear a lot of stories, and the stories are very bloody and very, very tragic. So this is affecting them psychologically a lot, forever. So we, as a mom, as a sister, and I can only calm and try to calm uh, my surrounding. This is what we do. It's not easy.
So, what is the age of your children?
The age of my children,
Yeah.
11,
So, how
11
do
years
you,
old,
how do you try to console him, or is he, I mean, son, or do you have a son or daughter?
a daughter.
Daughter.
Uh,
How do you console
this,
her when you hear the siren? How do you try to console her?
First of all, I'm telling her that the situation is as it is. I'm not hiding the situation because I don't think that lying will help. At some point, she will hear the truth. So, but of course, I'm not telling her everything of what happened. There are all those horrible details that she doesn't need to know. But like I said before, we passed few wars already as Israelis, and I'm not saying this is the same, but this is the reality of Israel.
Yeah, I understand. Sarah, I just one thing I also wanted to note from you. Are you
Mhm.
trying to hide as much videos as possible from your daughter so that she doesn't come to see those horrible images? Are you trying to do that also?
Of course, this is the first thing first. First thing that I asked from her when everything started is, okay, delete TikTok right now. No more TikTok. And she did that. And so it was the first thing that I wanted her to do because there were a lot of viral and violent stuff going on there. The second thing is checking every video she received, and she, of course, agree and she heard me. So I'm in control. I think the most parents doing the same as I saw because a lot of videos coming, as I try to delay them from my phone, it's coming over and over and over and over. So yes, we're hiding because once you see those things, it's forever in your mind. I can
Yeah.
tell that every time I close my eyes, I can see all those pictures, all those people, all those faces begging for help. They are filmed before they kill them, and it's stuck in my head
Yeah.
all the time.
Sarah, no, let's try to understand one or two more things from you. What is the sense among Israelis? What do they think? First, and before I come to that, I just want to ask you one thing. When you say there's a panic among Israelis, so
Mhm.
if I am to assume that Israelis fear there could be another attack like this, is it the fear among Israelis?
If there is fear among, you're
Israelis
asking,
that such an attack can happen again? If this is a sense of fear among them,
well, yes, this is absolutely sense of fear, but the same sense of fear give us the strength to get up and stick together. And I believe when Israel people stick together, they are strong. So we are fighting those fears by sticking together, helping each other, bringing more light than darkness because there's a lot of darkness right now out there, and hoping for the best for everyone, every citizen.
Sarah, no, let's. I just want to ask you one more thing. When you talk to your friends, your family members, when you move to shelter homes for safety, along with your daughter and other family friends, so you must be having some conversation among your people who are staying there. So, what do you get a sense? What Israelis think could be the reason for such a dastardly and brutal attack? What is their sense? Whom do they blame?
They blame the Hamas, the terrorists, only them. And they know that Palestinian peoples may also um, suffer from this because this is a terrorist organization, and this is even beyond dictator. It's terror, and people can't live with terror. They are in fear by themselves, and yes, this is shocking. This is not normal.
Now, tell me, when you hear stories and the news about huge bombardment at Gaza and the residents have been asked to leave from there, what do you feel about the common Palestinians? What is your feeling for them?
The citizens didn't do anything wrong. They are, I think, they are victims of all this, like we are. This is why I feel, and I feel they are trapped. And this is a robber himself. They are kidnapped, just like our kidnapped people.
I can
This is
understand.
sad.
It,
This is very
um,
sad.
there's a I mean, because tragedy has struck on the both sides of the border, both for the Palestinians, both for the Israelis, and also for the ordinary Palestinians. I understand because the both are going through a lot of suffering at this point of time. Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
But Sarah, now tell me, as an ordinary Israeli, common Israeli, mm, what do you think the government should do to get the about 160 hostages which have been taken by Hamas? What step government should take to get them released?
I don't know.
So ordinary. So let me put it in a different manner. So if the ordinary Israelis feel that they should be freed at any cost, come what may, is it the demand of? I mean, if this is a feeling among common Israelis,
Of course, we want them free. This is our kids. This is our brothers and sisters, and even citizens from other countries in the world, like Germans, Americans, and yes, of course, should be free. They are people. Every lives matter. Every life. I mean, of course.
yeah, every life matter. Exactly, you are very right on this account. But Sarah, now tell me, um, this is this thing that when you heard this, the beheading of children. So, what comes in your mind at the first instance when you heard this thing? That how could someone behead the children? And what was the one thing you which came into your mind when you heard this news?
How much evil can be in this world? This is always getting worse. You know, the size of the horrific things that are happening in this life. I mean, this is shocking. Really, don't have words even. This is terrorist act, but not only terrorism. This is like decapitated babies and burning them alive. This is a sort of sadism. This is even not, it's beyond terror. I don't know how they could. I don't know. This is horrific. Babies, I mean, what in the world they did to you? And why to burn a family alive in front of each other? And there are a lot of things. This is beyond humanity. This is only in the Holocaust you heard of such horrific things. This is unbelievable that still we are in 2023, things like this happen. Unbelievable. I have
Exactly
no
what,
words.
yeah, I understand. It's unbelievable what is happening even in now in 2023, 21st century. So, Sarah, uh, what is the when the government of Israel has said they will wipe out the Hamas? They will go very hard at the Hamas. So, do the ordinary Israelis support this action of the government that Hamas should be wiped out?
Can you please ask again?
I said the Israeli government has said we will wipe out Hamas, come what may.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your
I
question.
said I am saying that Netanyahu government has said the Israeli forces will just completely finish the Hamas. Do you support
Uh-huh.
this action? I mean, this if this should be done at any cost.
I'm not getting into political views and
Okay, I got your point. Okay, I got your point. I understand. I don't want to. Yes, so I will not digress into that thing. But Sarah, what we heard, and you probably know much better, that every Israeli go through military training, so they are mentally prepared for such an eventuality, and also to serve the nation when eventuality comes. So, but even if you, when you too must have gone through the military training, which is very compulsory for ordinary Israelis. So, even when you were growing up as a teenager, as a grown-up lady, did you ever imagine that such a thing will happen to Israel?
of course not. So you know those are kind of things you see in horror movies, but you never think it's gonna be happen in the reality. So no, I never thought something like that would happen in this country.
Okay, yeah.
No.
So, Sarah, if your friends or family members are they also serving in the army? Probably they might be serving in the army, and they might be on the front. So, do you talk to them? What do they say?
You know, Israel is like a big family. We all talking to each other. We all taking care of each other, and we are brothers and sisters. So yes.
So, exactly, I understand that Israel is like a big family. I understand that. But Sarah, lastly, I just want to ask you one thing. What, in your view,
Mm.
how do you see the situation when the situation will normalize, and how much craving is for among the ordinary Israelis to live a normal life soon again?
Wow, this is the question, the big question. If I have the answer, maybe we can solve the problem. But I don't know if I'm clever enough to know the answer. This is, a war of 50 years, 70 years. I hope we have the answer, and I hope less citizens, Israelis, Palestinians, will pay the price with their lives. This is why I truly hope. And we find a way to live together because, inside of Israel, Arabs and Jews living like that. We are neighbors, we are friends, we are colleagues, we're working together, we're eating together, we making business together, and some we just appreciate each other. And this just show us that it can work. This can work because I truly believe that even there are families that only want to live their life happy like we do. They're normal people like we are. just they have oppression. They have this terror organization oppressing them, and even they choose for the Hamas in the election. See such an organization make such thing. I, I don't want to imagine what they are going through there in this Gaza Strip. So I really hope that one day we can find the solution and live together peacefully.
Sarah, you rightly pointed out in the end that Israelis and the Palestinians, they have got a shared culture, shared history. They have been living together for quite long time. They have got, they're doing business also, and they are
Mm-hmm.
also going through uh, a very traumatic phase right now because of they have been held captive by certain terrorist or fundamental organizations. They are being held captive by that. So, and as you say that ordinary Israelis also want to live a peaceful life. This is what you want to. This is what you are saying, right?
Our citizens, Israeli citizens, want to live in peace. So yes, I mean, if it can be such a momentum or such a solution to include peaceful life in Israel in the Middle East, of course, this is best for everything, for the economic, for the citizens, for it's a win-win situation, of course.
Sarah, we also hope and pray from India that peace prevails in the region. Israelis have suffered a lot in the history. They do not suffer again. And we also pray for the safety of ordinary Palestinians. Uh, Sarah, thanks a lot for sparing your time and giving us what is happening on the ground and what are the common feelings among the Israelis. Thanks a lot for sparing your time. We will talk to you again in future and to understand how the things pan out and how the life, if the life has returned to a normalcy has returned there, or something other things have happened. So thanks a lot for sparing your time and giving us your information. Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Shalom.
Salam.